Airframe Prepware, non-metallic structures. Which statement is true regarding paint system compatibility? Old wash primer coats may be overcoated directly with epoxy finishes. When dope proofing the parts of the aircraft structure that may come in contact with doped fabric, which of the following provide an acceptable protective coating? Aluminum foil and cellulose tape. Fiberglass laminate damage that extends completely through one facing and into the core requires the replacement of the damaged core and facing. When making repairs to fiberglass, cleaning of the area to be repaired is essential for a good bond. The final cleaning should be made using MEK, methylethyl ketone. On a semi-monocoque fuselage, the skin is reinforced by longitudinal structural members called longerons and stringers. Superficial scars, scratches, surface abrasion, or rain erosion on fiberglass laminates can generally be repaired by applying one or more coats of suitable resin, room temperature catalyzed, to the surface. A faint line running across the grain of a wood spar generally indicates compression failure. A category of plastic material that is capable of softening or flowing when reheated is described as a thermoplastic. Aluminum pigment in dope is used primarily to reflect ultraviolet from the fabric. The classification for fiberglass reinforcement material that has high resistivity and is the most common is E-glass. Moisture, mildew, chemicals, and acids have no effect on glass fabric. The coefficient of expansion of most plastic enclosure materials is greater than both steel and aluminum. Which of these methods may be used to inspect fiberglass/honeycomb structures for entrapped water? X-ray and backlighting. The determining factors for the selection of the correct weight of textile fabric to be used in covering any type of aircraft is the speed of the aircraft and the maximum wing loading. When balsa wood is used to replace a damaged honeycomb core, the plug should be cut so that the grain is perpendicular to the skin. When patching a plywood skin, abrupt changes in cross-sectional areas which will develop dangerous stress concentration should be avoided by using circular or elliptical patches. Which of the following, when added to wet resins, provides strength for the repair of damaged fastener holes in composite panels? Flocks and chopped fibers. What type of bit should be used to drill holes in plexiglass? A specially modified twist drill. Which of the following are generally characteristic of aramid fiber Kevlar composites? High tensile strength and flexibility. Which defect in aircraft finishes may be caused by adverse humidity, drafts, or sudden changes in temperature? Blushing. Laminated wood is sometimes used in the construction of highly stressed aircraft components. This wood can be identified by its parallel grain construction. Before applying a protective coating to any unpainted clean aluminum, you should avoid touching the surface with bare hands. Fungicidal dopes are used in aircraft finishing as the first coat to prevent fabric rotting and are applied thin enough to saturate the fabric. The monocoque fuselage relies largely on the strength of skin or covering. When and how is finishing tape applied on a fabric-covered aircraft? Doped on after the first or second coat of dope. The I-beam wooden spar is routed to reduce weight. For doped and overlapping span-wise seams on a wing's leading edge, overlap the fabric at least 4 inches and cover with finishing tape at least 4 inches wide with the tape centered on the leading edge of the wing. What is the material layer used within the vacuum bag pressure system to absorb excess resin during curing called bleeder? The best method of repair for a fabric-covered surface which has an L-shaped tear, each leg of which is approximately 14 inches long, is to sew with a baseball stitch from the center of the tear out toward the extremity of each leg and then dope on a patch. Which type of coating typically includes phosphoric acid as one of its components at the time of application? Wash primer. Hole-filling fasteners, for example, MS 2047-0 rivets, should not be used in composite structures primarily because of the possibility of causing delamination. When testing the strength of grade A cotton fiber covering an aircraft that requires only intermediate grade, the minimum acceptable strength of fabric must have is 70% of the original strength for intermediate fabric. Where is information found concerning acceptable species substitutions for wood materials used in aircraft repair? AC 43.13-1B. What reference tool is used to determine how the fiber is to be oriented for a particular ply of fabric? Warp clock or compass. How many fabric thicknesses will be found in a French fell seam? 4. When installing transparent plastic enclosures, which are retained by bolts extending through the plastic material and self-locking nuts, the nuts should be tightened to a firm fit, then backed off 1 full turn. Glue deterioration in wood aircraft structure is indicated when a joint has separated and the glue surface shows only the imprint of the wood with no wood fibers clinging to the glue. Laminated wood spars may be substituted for solid rectangular wood spars if the same quality wood is used in both. When inspecting a composite panel using the ring test/tapping method, a dull thud may indicate separation of the laminates. One of the best ways to assure that a properly prepared batch of matrix resin has been achieved is to have mixed enough for a test sample. A correct use for acetone is to remove grease from fabric. Any wooden member that has been overstressed is subject to which type of failure? Compression. Proper prepreg composite layup curing is generally accomplished by applying external heat and pressure. The cantilever wing uses no external bracing. Fungicide and mildewcide additives are important for fabric-covered aircraft such as cotton and linen. Which is an identifying characteristic of acrylic plastics? Zinc chloride will have no effect. Which type of monostructure has the skin reinforced by a complete framework of structural members? Reinforced shell. What is the most common method of cementing transparent plastics? Soak method. Compression failures in wood aircraft structures are characterized by buckling of the fibers that appear as streaks on the surface at right angles of the grain. Repairing advanced composites using materials and techniques traditionally used for fiberglass repairs is likely to result in an unairworthy repair. Fiberglass laminate damage not exceeding the first layer or ply can be repaired by filling with a putty consisting of a compatible resin and clean, short glass fibers. A piece of sheet metal is bent to a certain radius. The curvature of the bend is referred to as the bend radius. One method of inspecting a laminated fiberglass structure that has been subjected to damage is to strip the damaged area of all paint and shine a strong light through the structure. Which of the following is a hazard associated with sanding on fabric-covered surfaces during the finishing process? Static electricity buildup. Which statement about wood decay is correct? Decay is not acceptable in any form or amount. Which parts of a semi-monocoque fuselage prevent tension and compression from bending the fuselage? Longerons and stringers. What is the purpose of a gusset or gusset plate used in the construction and repair of aircraft structures? To join and reinforce intersecting structural members. Which of the following are generally characteristic of carbon/graphite fiber composites? Stiffness, high compressive strength, and corrosive effect in contact with aluminum. Which of the following conditions will determine acceptance of wood with mineral streaks? Careful inspection fails to reveal any decay. If an aircraft's transparent plastic enclosures exhibit fine cracks which may extend in a network over or under the surface or through the plastic is said to be crazing. Which statement concerning wood decay is correct? Any form or amount of decay is not permitted. The part of a replacement honeycomb core that must line up with the adjacent original is the ribbon direction. How does acoustic emission testing detect defects in composite materials? By picking up the noise of any deterioration that may be present. Finishing tape, surface tape, is used for what purpose? To provide additional wear resistance over the edges of fabric-forming structures. Pin knot clusters are permitted in wood aircraft structure provided they produce a small effect on grain direction. The preferred way to make permanent repairs on composites is by laminating on new repair plies. The classification for high tensile strength fiberglass used in aircraft structures is S-glass. Which of the following drill bit types work best when drilling an aramid fiber Kevlar composite laminate? Carbide W point. The length of time that a catalyzed resin will remain in a workable state is called the pot life. If masking tape is applied to an aircraft, such as for trim spraying, and is left on for several days and/or exposed to heat, it is likely that the tape will cure to the finish and be very difficult to remove. Which statement is true regarding a cantilever wing? No external bracing is needed. In encases the elongated bolt holes in a wood spar or cracks in the vicinity of bolt holes. A new section of spar should be spliced in or the spar replaced entirely. When conducting a tap test on a composite panel, which of the following sounds would indicate delamination? Dull thud. Which of the following are benefits of using microballoons when making repairs to laminated honeycomb panels? Improved strength-to-weight ratio, less density, and lower stress concentrations. Metal fasteners used with carbon/graphite composite structures must be constructed of materials such as titanium or corrosion-resistant steel. Composite fabric material is considered to be the strongest in what direction? Warp. Servicing diagrams that show the arrangement of equipment and location of quick access doors on an aircraft can be found in the Aircraft Manufacturer's Maintenance Manual. The strength classification of fabrics used in aircraft covering is based on tensile strength. What is used to slow the drying time of some finishes and to prevent blush? Retarder. When humidity is low, what is likely to occur if hydrated wash primer is applied to unpainted aluminum and then, 30 to 40 minutes later, a finished top coat is applied? A glossy, blush-free finish. A potted compound repair on honeycomb can usually be made on damage less than 1 inch in diameter. If a new safety belt is to be installed in an aircraft, the belt must conform to the strength requirements in which document? TSO C-22. The strength and stiffness of a properly constructed composite buildup depends primarily on the orientation of the plies to the load direction. When humidity is low, what is likely to occur if unhydrated wash primer is applied to unpainted aluminum and then, about 30 to 40 minutes later, a finished top coat is applied? Corrosion. Sandwich panels made of honeycomb construction are used on aircraft because this type of construction saves weight while not compromising strength. Which fiber to resin percent ratio for advanced composite wet layups is generally considered the best for strength? 60 to 40. When repairing large, flat surfaces with polyester resins, warping of the surface is likely to occur. One method of reducing the amount of warpage is to use short strips of fiberglass in the bonded repair. When necessary, what type of cutting fluid is usually acceptable for machining composite laminates? Water only. What is the usual cause of runs and sags in aircraft finishes? Too much material applied in one coat. The strength of a well-designed and properly prepared wood splice joint is provided by the glue. Which properly applied finish top coat is the most durable and chemical resistant? Polyurethane. Machine-sewn seams in aircraft covering fabrics may be which of the following types? Folded fell, French fell, or plain lapped. Cabin upholstery materials installed in current standard category airplanes must be at least flame resistant. If no scratches are visible after transparent plastic enclosure materials have been cleaned, their surfaces should be covered with a thin coat of wax. Fabric rejuvenator is used to restore the condition of dope coatings. Which is considered good practice concerning the installation of acrylic plastics? When rivets are used, adequate spacer or other satisfactory means to prevent excessive tightening of the frame to the plastic should be provided. Fiberglass damage that extends completely through a laminated sandwich structure may be repaired.